Hey everybody, this is Ori from OneScales, and I'm going to show you a very specific video, but very common used video about how to track your form submissions using Google Tag Manager and obviously send the data to Google Analytics 4. This video in particular is for websites that use WordPress and use the plugin called Contact Form 7. Luckily, there's millions of websites that use Contact Form 7. That's why we thought it's good to make this video, and I'm going to jump into it. So the only thing is, if you're using the latest Contact Form 7 and you made a form and your form actually loads when you submit successfully or the customer submits successfully, it loads the success message either at the top or the bottom, but basically on the same page without refreshing or going to a thank you page. Going to another page is a separate topic for a separate video. It's a little bit easier for that, but this one in particular is the most common that we've seen. And I want to jump into it. So if you submit successfully, you'll have this message say, thank you for filling it out, we'll contact you, or whatever the message you want on your website. This actually loads using JavaScript, use some extra information on the site after the page is loaded, only after it was sent successfully. Okay, so how do you do this this thing with Google Tag Manager? So first thing you want to do, obviously you need to make sure that you have your website, you have Google Analytics, you have Google Tag Manager on the site. We're not going to cover it in this one. Now, the tracking itself, for example, I'm going to report in Google Analytics, and I have some basic, sample data, and I actually made an event called Generate Lead, which is a default event in Google Analytics 4, but I actually submitted every time someone fills out the form right here. I actually send that data here to Google Analytics, and this is what this video is about. So how do I do that? Very simply. Number one, you need to have obviously Contact Form 7. You set it up. You don't need to do anything different. The only thing you need to do, go to Google Tag Manager, and you're actually going to need to create a tag, a new tag. I've already created the tag, but very simply, it looks like this. So I call the tag, for example, GA4 Form Submit, and all I have to do is select the type called GA4 Event. That's what events are. It's basically going to be right here, event, and you'll have a list here of all kinds of events. Okay. The second thing I need to do is call the event name, which I wanted to use the default one called Generate Lead, but you can have others. If you do have others, make sure in your settings you register that other event so it'll be there. Okay. And then the next one is right here. I need to specify when I need to trigger, when I need to send to Google Analytics. When Google Tag Manager sends this data to GA4, it'll send it on the trigger itself. So my event is very simple, Generate Lead, GA4 event, very easy. The most important thing is the trigger itself, which the trigger is right here, okay? And I call it right here, form submit success. Okay, so what do I do? The only thing I need to do is I need to select here trigger type element visibility. What does that mean? That means that when I submit it, if the success box or success message is on the same page, it'll appear, it'll be visible. That's what this means. Okay, so element visibility, it'll be visible. And what do I do? If you use the latest Contact Form 7, all you have to do is specify here CSS selector, and you have to copy this whole thing inside. In the old Contact Form 7s, it used to be a different CSS selector, so be careful, or if your developer has modified something, but usually developers don't modify this because it's very default. You do this, you click on one per page, and you have to make sure that the event will trigger only if the section once you submit is visible on the page for the customer, the visitor of the page. If you do that, you specify, you can just copy paste this element visibility CSS selector. You copy this. This is basically CSS code inside the HTML once per page, and it's at least visible on 1% of the whole screen. Then you can do it. Now, I added it to limit only to my contact form page, but you don't have to do this depending on your setup, etc. The only thing you need to do is CSS selector, the CSS itself, one per page, and is located. Observe DOM changes right here. I'm going to show you guys this in the description as well. And that's it. And that's it. This is optional if you want to lock it to only one specific page, but you don't have. If not, you can just keep it all visibility, and that's it. Once you do that, let's discard this. Once you do that, you should have the tag. The tag here will have both a setup trigger a GA4 event, GA4 generate lead, trigger it here on what we just set up right now, the CSS, and then you're going to have to submit and it should be live. That's basically it. Now, if you want to verify it, you can click on preview. That will have another topic for how to verify Google Tag Manager. But if you just want to copy paste very simply, put those information in, check out our YouTube comments on this video, and you'll be able to run it. That's it. If you have any questions, we're here to help. We're in the comments section. Ask questions, try to figure out, and if you have additional insights or something missing from this video, comment, share with others. This channel is trying to be a community, to share a lot of information, to be more efficient, to help everybody out there do better tech, do better in this world. And that's it. Let me know, contact us, subscribe, share, and much appreciated.